Hey kids, Flexing Teacher Weber here. We're going to do more work with equivalent fractions now. So starting off on this one, building on the idea of equivalent fractions, to make equivalent fractions, you can multiply or divide the numerator and denominator by the same number. And that's something we talked about a lot last time. So in this example here, it says make two equivalent fractions for each example. So the fraction 2/3. You want to make an equivalent fraction for that? Just multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. I choose 2. And that's going to give me the equivalent fraction 4/6. But I can choose any number I want, just as long as I do the same thing to the top and the bottom. So maybe I choose 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And 3 times 3 is 9. Okay? It's just that simple. For 5/8, maybe I'll do 5 times 4 and 8 times 4. And I'll get 20/32. Or maybe I'll do 5 times 5 and 8 times 5. And I'll get 25/40. And then 9/12. You can also divide the numerator and denominator by the same number. In this one, you might recognize that you can divide the numerator and denominator by 3. And you get 3/4. And we've essentially put the fraction in lowest terms, but they're still equivalent fractions. And you can use whatever numbers you want. Maybe you'll multiply by 100 and 100. And you'll get 900/1200. So that's the basis of equivalent fractions, is that you can do the same thing to the top and the bottom and you'll make an equivalent fraction. Now this idea really helps us with the main focus of this section, and that's solving number puzzles like this. So we're going to solve these number puzzles using equivalent fractions. So I'll show you what I mean. These fractions are all equivalent because they are separated by equal signs. So 1/4 equals x/12. And what I do is I find the numbers that both have numbers, don't have anything missing. So in this one, both denominators are there. So I look and I say, you know what? To go from 4 to 12, I can multiply by 3. And then I'll do the same thing to the top, 1 times 3. And that's going to give me the value of the missing number x. The value of x is going to be 1 times 3 is 3. Okay? And then when I get to number 2, 2/7 equals 6/x. And this time, it's both denominators I know. And I know that 2 times 3 will give me 6. So because they're equivalent, I have to do the same thing to the bottom. So I have to do 7 times 3 to get the value of the unknown number x. And 7 times 3 is equal to 21. So x is equal to 21. Now we have to be able to work the other way as well. So if you look at this one, number 3, x/5 equals 10/25. Now this one, I recognize that I have both denominators I know. So to go from 5 to 25, I'm going to times by 5. And then I would do the same thing to the top, and I have to ask myself, what number would I times by 5 to get 10? And that number would be 2. The other way you could think of it is with division. You could do it by dividing. So I might recognize that 25 divided by 5 gets me going in that direction. 25 divided by 5 gives me the answer of 5. So I do the same thing to the top, and 10 divided by 5 gives me x equal to 2. Either way I slice it, I get x equal to 2. And then when I go to this one, 3/x equals 15/20. And again, I could say to myself, okay, I know to go from 3 to 15, I have to times by 5. So then I have to ask myself, what number, x, would I times by 5 to get 20? And I know 4 times 5 is 20. So I could do it that way. Or I could use division, start with 15 and ask myself, what do I do to 15 to get 3? I'm going to divide by 5. And I have to do the same thing to the bottom then. 20 divided by 5 gives me x equal to 4. So it's these number puzzles that are going to be the really important thing in this section. We have to really know how to do these well because this will help us a lot with adding fractions. Now, we ended with just one final question. Which fraction in the group doesn't belong? Prove it. Well, they all are different fractions, but one of them is going to be not equivalent. So what we do is we put them all in lowest terms. So 200 over 300. If I put that in lowest terms, I can divide by 100, divide by 100, and I get 2/3. And I know 6 over 9, I can divide by 3, divide by 3, and I get 2/3. And I know 9 over 12, I can divide by 3, divide by 3, and I get 3 over 4. Oh, that might be the one, right? And then 2/3, I know, is just 2/3. Yeah, so I think that 9 over 12 one is going to be the one that's not like the other. And then 10 over 15, I can divide by 5, divide by 5, and I get 2 over 3. So it's 9 over 12, which is not equivalent to the rest of them because in lowest terms it's 3 out of 4. Now I should answer that. 9 over 12 is the only fraction equal to 3/4. All right. Hopefully these two videos help you with the idea of equivalent fractions. And the assignment I gave you, this 2.3 worksheet, these two videos hopefully have helped you with that. I hope that helps. Trust me, I'm flexing. Have a good night. Flexing Teacher Weber out.